Welcome to the Aki Culture Club. What's up, everyone? I'm your co-founder, Damien.
I'm Nick.
Nick, are you ready to kick off the 36th club meeting?
Let this club meeting commence.
36. So, Nick, it was brought to my attention about a week ago that the term weeb is actually not something that we should be using.
Why?
Apparently, it's kind of derogatory.
Okay, what did you hear? Because
So,
I've heard multiple different definitions of weeb.
so have I. So I think we should kick it off by talking about it, and then we'll decide.
Mm.
I was told that it was derogatory, and the idea behind a weeb, according to dictionary.com, is that a weeb is a derisive term for a non-Japanese person who is obsessed with Japanese culture that they wish they were actually Japanese.
Okay.
And then the Urban Dictionary definition is a person who retains an unhealthy obsession with Japan and Japanese culture, typically ignoring or even shunning their own racial and cultural identity. Many weeaboos talk in butcher Japanese with the 8 or so words that they know. While weeaboos claim to love and support Japanese culture, counterintuitively, they tend to stereotype Japanese culture by how it appears in their favorite anime, which can be safely assumed to be offensive to the Japanese. So it's like someone who is appropriating Japanese culture. That's the vibe that
Mm.
I'm getting when they mean
Yeah.
derogatory.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard both of those
Mm-hmm.
definitions. But I feel like the anime is becoming more and more popular
Yeah.
amongst like the general public, and weeb, at least the way that like my friends or people that I know, it's just like if you watch anime, if you're a nerd for anime, you're a weeb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like the Chad versus Virgin meme. Like, it's a weeb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but the weebs are becoming more like the Chads, where because anime is cool now, it
Yes.
used to not be cool.
Well, okay. So going off with what you just said made me think of something. I was actually looking at the term weeaboo
Hmm,
on
hmm.
Urban Dictionary. So I decided to type in the word weeb. And the word weeb is a person who's interested in anime Japanese culture. There's an important difference between a weeb and a weeaboo. The latter is a person who denounces their own culture while they want to become Japanese. They have a wife or a body pillow, if some sort of and of some sort, and watch hentai. Weebs are normal people who like anime and may have some merch.
Exactly.
So there's some sort of distinction here that needs to be made. Weebs are just normal individuals who like anime.
Right.
Weeaboos are those who are appropriating Japanese culture.
Right. And I feel like the weeb is like someone who would get upset if you said that their favorite character would lose to another favorite character,
Mm.
like Naruto versus Goku. Like if you said that Naruto would be Goku, like a weeb would get upset by that and argue with you. We, on the other hand, we're wannabe weebs.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of like in between the average person and how can you think that Goku could lose to Naruto? Blah, blah, that like that kind of
Mm-hmm.
person, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
So we have normal, then we have us, then we have weebs, and then we have weeaboos.
Right. Like we still go out and socialize on the weekends. And we don't
Mm-hmm.
just watch anime all the time, but we also are watching 6 animes right now. You're watching what like 17? How many
Yeah,
is it?
I think it's 18. I don't know.
Wow.
Let me look. I think
See,
it's 18. Yeah.
you are going down a path of weebdom where if you stop, but you have a life and you have a girlfriend and you have friends. If you started to put anime above those things,
Then
you
we're
would be a
having a
weeb.
problem.
Yes.
True.
We're
True.
the
I
bridge.
agree. Yes.
We're the
Yes.
bridge between.
I like this bridge analogy that we have here. All right.
Although
So
we're
fuck it. We're
like,
keeping weeb.
yeah, we're 3/4 way to weebdom though. I would think we're not
Okay.
quite half.
We're not quite half. We're almost there.
Right.
Still want to
Half,
be though.
half would be the people who watch the popular ones.
Okay.
So we've watched some like Tokyo Revengers. Half of the ones we're watching now, like
This is true.
If I talk to one of my friends who watches Attack on Titan and Naruto and all that, like they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like they don't know what that is. You know?
This is true. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone that I know would even know what Peach Boy Riverside is.
No, they've never heard of it, and
No.
they're like that. They probably think it sounds dumb just because of the name.
This is true. Peach Boy Riverside, and to them, that those are just three words that mean nothing, that you never hear in congruence with each other.
Right. Right.
Like, what does Peach Boy Riverside mean? Yeah, unless you watch the show, then you'll know what it actually means.
Exactly. And I'll be the first to admit, when you told me we're watching Peach Boy Riverside, I was like, "What the fuck is that? That sounds terrible." And then I watched the trailer, and it's like, "Okay, stop judging."
Yeah, you learned to stop judging that day.
I did. Ever since Tokyo Revengers, I'm like, all right, I can't throw anything out
Mm-hmm,
because I didn't like it at first,
You
and
did
now
not.
I love it.
Now it's amazing. Speaking of Tokyo Revenger, no, just kidding. You want to jump right into it?
Well, we can. It wasn't like the super. I mean, it was a good episode, but it wasn't the leave me speechless episode it was last week. So
It wasn't. I think that's for another show this week that I think left me a little bit more speechless.
Mhm.
But yeah, Tokyo Revengers episode 17. No way. I still don't understand Kazutora's reaction to wanting to kill Mikey, like from the very
Yeah.
beginning. Like obviously it was just like a recap of what happened last episode, but that was like the first thing I thought of. I was like, why do you want to kill him? I don't get it.
Yeah, we talked about that too. It's like it was such a drastic switch.
Yeah.
It just didn't really make sense. But it's it's his underlying character. That's what he like in the show that we're watching. He's the guy that wants to kill Mikey. Like we don't really know much else about him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's apparently so this episode I feel like is super convoluted without like talking about everything that happened in the end. Talk about what happened in the beginning. So like throughout the episode, I was obviously thinking that Kasaki was the head of Valhalla, but he's not. It's
Same.
Mikey.
Which I still don't understand.
I still don't understand that. So by the end of the episode, I was like, I don't have no idea what's going on at this point. So Mikey is the head of Toman and Valhalla. Kasaki is this type of like 5D chess. I don't get my hands dirty, but I manipulate other people to do it for me.
Yes.
He brings in Kasaki is controlling Hanma,
Mm-hmm.
and Kasaki is now in Toman. So, like, I don't understand how this fight is going to work because it's literally Mikey's two gangs that he has control over is going to fight each other, and for what?
I don't understand how Mikey is the leader of Valhalla right now.
I don't get it either. But Kasaki is controlling Hanma, who is the acting leader of Valhalla right now.
Right. It's really confusing. A lot of politics going on.
It is. It's a lot of 5D chess is happening around right now that we're not really fully seeing. That I think we're going to see in next week's episode because we got a flash forward. I mean, we got it at the end of the episode. We saw what's going to happen next. That he ends up killing Kazutora.
Right, in a brutal way.
Yeah, like beats the shit out of him to like kind of the way that Baji beat his the vice captain up.
Right.
And now the vice captain and Takamichi are now linked.
Right.
And the thing about how did Takamichi go back into the future without actually touching Naoto's hand? He just agreed to help the vice captain, then he went back into the future.
I was kind of curious about that too. I feel like it was just like they just didn't show him going to find Naoto.
Oh, okay.
It was just like a skip. Maybe it wasn't important. Maybe that's what I got out of it. It was like just for literary purposes. They just wanted to get him to the future.
Yeah, I could see because it'd probably be like a few minutes to have him like then build up Naoto. Where's he at? Okay, let's find him. Let's touch this random kid's hand. Like, let's go into the future. That does make sense.
Right.
Because obviously they need to talk to Draken.
Yeah, which again, I still don't understand how Mikey is the leader of Valhalla, but he does seem to know a lot about them at this time. And earlier on the show, they were looking for like Mikey's breaking point of where he switched to become like the Tokyo Manji that initially killed Hinata.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're about to see that switch when he kills Kazutoro. Like, because I mean, you saw his face; it was like covered in blood. He looked insane.
Yeah.
And we used to think that it was when Draken died. We thought that was the switch, but we found out that wasn't. We thought it was when Kisaki came, which that brings its own. You know, there's a whole can of worms there. But there was still something that made Mikey kind of go evil, I think, and I think this is the moment.
I think you're right. Do you think that Kisaki is in his ear telling him to kill Kazutoro?
I don't think so yet. I mean, maybe, but he's got like he wants to kill Kazutoro already because he killed his brother. He said it in this episode. He's like, I can't forgive him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if the Kisaki worm tongue thing is happening yet. I don't know, but this episode left me confused.
It did.
A lot of confusion.
For sure.
You were right though. You were right about Paji. You said in the last episode that you don't think he's actually going over there. We don't know what his motives actually are yet.
Yeah.
His vice president just kind of has it by instinct that he's got his own grand scheme.
Yeah, that he wants to expose Kisaki, whatever that means. That's another thing that was like left me with I don't know what that even means. Was that like why do you want to expose Kisaki? Like, what do you know about Kisaki that Mikey doesn't? That you wouldn't have told Mikey, so he would have made a better decision not to have him in the gang.
I don't think Mikey knows about the whole Pa's girlfriend thing. That was Kisaki's doing. I think they're trying to expose how bad, like all the bad things that's happened to Toman so far have pretty much been Kisaki's hands. Like he's been the mastermind behind it. And I don't think Mikey knows that yet.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think there are things that Mikey doesn't know. That being one of them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say about it, honestly. Other than it's confusing.
It was very confusing. There's a lot of like you said, 5D chess going on right now. Everyone we have like 3 different parties that we're following, trying to figure out their plan. We got Mikey, we got Kisaki, we got Takamichi, and Vice President. Like, that's a lot to keep track of all at once. Meanwhile, we're watching 5 other animes at the same time.
Tell me about it.
We could be quick with Tokyo Revengers. You know, they got all love last week.
They did. It did. All right. So the detective is already dead. Episode 5. That one was directed at 1 year in the future. What a long episode title.
Yes. Long names, man.
Long. They got some long titles in this show. I gotta say, like, so far, the detective is already dead has been unfortunately, least favorite of this season. I think the first episode did a really good job at setting the stage, and the writing was very interesting, and the spec group was cool, and I was like, okay, this is actually has a lot of potential to be an interestingly written, very cunning type of show. And then from then on, it was just been okay, what the heck was this? I'm guessing this episode was a whole flashback episode.
Yeah, because the detective's already dead. She was in this episode.
She was in the whole episode. So I was like, okay, well, I obviously get to see her. I thought it was weird that, she was being bashful in the very beginning, when typically she's supposed to be very, very cold and calculated. And I'm like, okay, maybe you're that she's softened up in 2 years. Maybe she fell in love with him. But we don't know that. We don't see that because we didn't see 2 years worth of their life together. We have to make an inference about that.
I caught a little theory on this episode of exactly what you're saying. And she said, my 3 basic needs are stronger needs than most people. And then she said, sleep, food. And then she wouldn't say what the 3rd need was. And I think we know what the 3rd need is.
Yeah.
And she's got a little crush.
I think she do. Oh my God.
I mean, the tension is there throughout this whole episode. It's palpable.
You're right. It is palpable. It's like, oh my gosh. you guys, it's clearly a love story at this point in the show.
Just bang already.
Just
How old
yeah.
are they?
I
I
think they're in
don't know.
high school.
I have people bang in high school.
Oh no. Anyway, yeah. So obviously they're in love. Um, I don't know. Yeah. What else do I have? The music scene when they were talking before like they decided to like set up for the werewolf was like I was like it's giving me serious early 2000s detective show vibes. It was like this weird like city jazzy music that was like you'd hear in like the early 2000s. I was like who's picking this music?
Yeah.
I was like this is like it was like it's oftentimes music doesn't initially stand out to me in shows unless it's really good or really bad, and in this case I was like wow, this is like palpably not a good fit.
Yeah.
Like I could be like damn, I don't like this at all.
Yeah. I'm on board with what you said that this is my least favorite. I mean, one of my notes is literally like, what the fuck is going on in this show? There was a werewolf. There's a giant demon. There's a mech. She had a mech suit. Where did she get that from?
I have that too. I'm like, wow, this is a mech anime now, you know?
Yeah. Like where'd she get that? I thought they were again a different country. So I don't know. It's losing me. It's losing me quite a bit.
It is. I don't know. Like I'm just not into it. Is this weird? Like I don't know if anyone like watching like is this show trash? It fell off like the Reddit anime subreddit like top 15 shows. It was up there and then it just has completely tanked. It's no longer even in the top 15.
Yeah, that's because the first episode was really good.
And now it's just not captivating and the story's not good. Like why is there so many different things happening at once?
Yeah.
Like why did we flash back to a werewolf that has a heart? Like I'm guessing the Spess organization takes diamond gems out of creatures and puts them in other creatures to give them powers, but where does the werewolf come from? Like
We don't know.
why does it have that thing? Is it a human turned into a werewolf like by the organization?
Yeah, but they were cool with it being a werewolf. Like they weren't blown away that there was a werewolf there.
Yeah, it was like
they were
oh,
like,
werewolf.
okay.
And
So like, I
somehow
feel like we should know that it's okay for there to be a werewolf, but we don't. You know?
yeah, no, I completely agree. Like we had no idea. It was just all out of a sudden. Like it was just weird. Like how did Fubi know that the werewolf was going to be in the room? So she set up the gas to come out after the sprinkler so he wouldn't be able to smell him or her coming in through the window. So like I was like, why did she know that? Wouldn't that be something that Siesta would have done?
Wait, no, it was Siesta. Siesta
Was
did
it?
that.
But
Siesta's the one who saved him.
yeah, but Fubi's the one that gave him the lighter.
Oh, yeah.
And he used the lighter
Yeah.
to light the bed on fire, but that also like ignited the sprinkler system which had gas come out.
Yeah.
So wait, did Siesta set up the gas because she noticed that Fubi gave him the lighter?
Maybe. That was like our one twist of this episode. Like we had one cool like detective twist like we've been getting, and that was that one.
Is it going to be like cheap like that every single time? Like is every episode going to have like one interesting detective twist that we didn't think about that we're trying to capture? And the rest of it is just like his unintelligible story where we have literally no idea what's happening otherwise.
That's
Or we
kind of
just
what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Are we dumb?
Are we dumb? I don't know. It's got to be one of those three. At this point, it could be any of them. So
No, I don't think we're dumb. They've been introducing so many characters so quickly through flashbacks, and like we don't even know what our main character is doing right now. How do we get in this flashback? It's sloppy.
yeah, it is so sloppy. You're right. How did we even get into this flashback? Like, where's the one girl that got the heart of the detective? We didn't see her in this entire episode. Honestly, I feel like she'd be a really important character to now develop because she has the heart of the detective. Like, that was a whole storyline that they were developing, and they were like, no, we're just going to flash back this entire episode. Like, you're going to have to get over it. And you're just like, bro.
The whole
What
I
is
think the whole point of this flashback was to introduce Hell, the bad girl leader.
Yeah.
That was really it.
Okay.
That's my guess. They could have did that in tons of different ways.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
they could have done that in a way, way, way better. Like
There's no
maybe like they
build up.
saw her exactly. Like maybe if they would have saw her, like in the first in current times, and then he flashed back to like think of a time where he first met her, that would make sense.
Hmm.
But I feel like we just started this episode in a flashback without ever establishing it
Yeah.
was a flashback.
And she's probably going to be like the main antagonist, right? 'Cause she's the leader, I
Yeah.
think, of Pez.
Of Pez
I think
Dispenser, yeah.
what the really good shows do is there's always a build up to the villain. It's never like My Hero did it really well with All for One. Like we never met him, but we knew who he was, and it just like referenced him a bunch of times, and we knew he was really bad. And then when we finally met him, it meant something. Because like
Exactly.
this is the guy. Here it's just like, okay, here she is. You know?
Yeah, you're like, okay. Like you're not that impressively scary or like this is a terrible situation or anything like that. You're right. There's no build up. There was no like I don't feel for the characters at all. I'm not like yeah, All for One was a scary character. Like there was like real potential that he could have killed one of the kids or one of the heroes, you know?
Yeah.
And like that exists in your mind when you're watching the story. Like one of my favorite characters could be killed.
Yeah.
In
I
this
don't
show,
have a favorite character in this
I
show.
don't even know. Like I don't. Yeah, neither do I. It's like I don't care if any of you guys die.
Yeah. But then segue, you have something like Peach Boy Riverside, where we're the same number of episodes in, and I was like jaw struck when Frau died.
Yeah, me too,
Spoiler,
dude.
I was upset.
Absolutely. Like I was so upset when Frau got like because we know her as someone who is a strong character, and to see her try to attack the vampire, she got clapped like immediately, and I thought she was dead.
So did I.
The title is Frau and the Vampire. So I was like, holy crap. Like, that's the end of Frau. And we're not going to be seeing her anymore.
And I was upset by that.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
whereas it's the,
yeah, with the
not
detective was
upset.
already dead, it was just like, okay, like I don't really care.
Yeah. Should we jump it?
Yeah.
Drop it.
Screw it. Yeah. Oh, should we drop it? Oh.
I'm going to keep it. Maybe it gets better.
Maybe. What? How many episodes does it have? I think it has 12. Let me look. It has 12 episodes.
So what are we, halfway? This was 5?
This was 5. We watched one more, it'll be halfway.
Okay.
Should we
Let's
give it
go
one more
halfway at least.
episode? Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that because this is a mainstay show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go halfway. If you guys don't agree with that, let us know. But halfway at this point. If it's trash in the next episode, we'll drop it.
Yeah. But let's talk about Peach Boy. Because
Yeah,
we were already
I'm
talking
down.
about it.
Yeah.
And this was another good one.
Exactly. So, Peach Riverside, episode 5, Frown the Vampire.
Now, I started off saying it was a good one because the episode in itself was good.
Yes.
Let's break that episode out of the show, the whole show. The episode was good. However, were you lost at the beginning of this episode? Because
How so?
I've discovered something.
Okay.
So last episode was flashback, right? And it was kind of like talking about who Sally is, where she came from, and how she got to meet Peach Boy. Because the previous episode ended with Sally having to choose between the demons and Peach Boy. But then this episode, she's with the demon, Carrot, right?
Yeah.
Who did she come from? The last episode or 2 episodes ago? Yeah, the ogre. Sorry.
The ogre was with Set, who was the big walrus-looking ogre.
Yeah, so 2 episodes ago she started.
Yes, episode
But-
3, I think.
But now in episode 5, they're together. So we never actually saw the decision that she made. They're just at a new place.
I think, yes, I think in episode 3, after they found her in the the jail cell, and Peach Boy took her horn and her eye or something.
Mm-hmm.
She pretty much like joined them, but it wasn't like they were a friends thing.
Right.
It
But
was like,
that episode ended with the whole cliffhanger was she needs to make a decision. Does she go with the ogres or does she go with Peach Boy? Remember?
Oh.
And we never saw that decision.
Yeah.
And we just arrived at a new town. She's with the characters from that episode. So what I found out is I was reading the comments in Crunchyroll. They are airing these episodes in the anime out of chronological order.
Why?
I only read a little bit about it. There's something on like the Wikipedia about it, but the manga is still going.
Okay.
And they're on like volume 8.
Okay.
And there's only going to be 12 episodes total of this show.
All right.
Which is at least according to that article. So rather than creating new anime original content, it's like a timing thing. They're airing them out of order so the manga can finish first.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people are really upset about it, according to the Crunchyroll comments.
Yeah, that's insane. You're right. I don't know why I didn't remember that. She was supposed to. They're doing it out of order.
This is weird, right? That's weird.
That's so weird. I'm going on there right now.
While you're looking at it, I do want to say that this episode as a whole was a good episode. It just, where did it come from? Because a lot of stuff happened. Like Frau died, but also didn't die, and we found out Frau is a demi-human, but she's also like a god or a demon or something, because this isn't the first time that she died. And she went to like heaven and knew that she was like, "Yo, what's up, Atlas," or whatever her name was. And I was, "Oh, Frau, you're back." And she's like, "Well, do you want the usual revive or reincarnation?" There's a revive, but I want some power this time.
Mm-hmm.
So Frau has the ability to die and come back.
Yes. And the vampire pretty much was just like, "Oh, so you're not actually a hair folk, you're something else."
Yeah, right. And she's like a demon because she had black wings and like the demon feet that Meliodas gets.
Oh, she's a demon. What if she's a demon? Why is she going to heaven?
Fallen angel, maybe? I don't know.
Fallen angel,
I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, I think we're going to get a little bit more Frau as well. According to user Lord_Knee 5 days ago with 33 upvotes, says, "What makes me even more mad about the airing order is that in Japan, they have some streaming services that are actually getting the series in the correct order. So far, they have gotten episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, of which we haven't even gotten 4 and 5. We had 7 this week's episode and 9 our third episode."
That's weird.
That is so weird. So we got episode 9 as episode 3 and episode 7 as episode 5.
It's like I wish we could watch them in chronological order. I wish they were all out and we knew about this and we could watch it the way it's supposed to be watched, because I like this show.
Me too. And it's really bumming me out that we're getting it out of order in this wonky way. This other person says, at this point, I'll just watch the whole thing in chronological order at the end of the season.
Yeah. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, people are saying if you don't do, like... Someone says, that fight was way too close. They narrowly won by a hair.
That was good.
Oh, my God. Episode 8 is next week. Damn. That sucks. I don't know why they would do that.
It's really weird. And it's a bummer because I think this is a good show.
So do I.
Yeah.
That's a real bummer.
Only 12 episodes, though. Like,
I know.
It's going to be over.
And then that's it? Like, we get no more.
Which
I wonder if that's going
to
cover all 12 volumes, you think? Like, does every episode get a volume?
Yes. And I'm fine with this being short and sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like it has potential to, like, the fantasy world that they're in. It has potential for a lot of story.
It does.
You know, I'm okay with something wrapped like Vivi that wrapped up, and it was great. You know, I'm okay with that.
Same. I didn't want Vivi to go on for like too long. 13 episodes was fine.
Right. Right.
But if you watch one Vivi episode out of order, you won't know what's happening.
Yeah, you won't. You don't even know what's happening if you watch it in order.
Man, we just watch these shows, bro. I don't know what's going on. I'm barely here, bro. I've been barely here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I saw the octopus thing again.
Yeah, we saw that octopus thing again, man. What the fuck is going on with the octopus thing? I want to know. Why do we have the octopus thing? What is the importance?
So, like, are we going to go back and watch it in order when it's all out?
Maybe. I think that... I don't know. I think we should just continue watching it.
We should.
We'll get all the episodes, and we'll be able to piece it together at the end, I guess.
Yeah, it's just weird. Were you lost at all, or was it just me?
Well, Nick, if I'm being honest with you, I'm watching 18 shows this season. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I didn't remember the whole pick your side deal.
No,
you were the only one, not me.
That's okay. You know,
that's why it's a 2-person show.
Yeah, this is a good strategy because for you, the episode itself has to have an impact. Like you can really review just the episode because you don't remember the previous one, whereas I can fill you in on the story.
Exactly.
As we go along. It's great. It's a 2-person show.
It's a 2-person show. We share equal responsibility. I don't remember shit, and he can fill me in. If you don't remember it, I can fill in. It works well.
Yeah.
It works so well. So we got the show that don't make any sense, and we got the show that is out of order. Got it. All right. What about our third show for the season? Moonlit Fantasy.
No complaints.
No complaints. Such a funny game. Episode 4, too late. These episodes through the show are just getting like funnier and funnier to me.
Yeah. And the overpoweredness of our main characters is like sometimes that's annoying, you know, but like they just do it so well.
They do. They don't it's not like overkill in a way where it's like nothing is funny, but it's like they do it so like enough that things it's like their overpoweredness is a comedic relief.
Yes.
It's not a way to like steamroll everything in their path.
Right. And eventually there's going to have to be some sort of conflict, right? Like someone's going to have to be able to put up a fight, or it's just like One Punch Man, which is they do it so well, you know, nobody can, you know, maybe that's what they're going for here. But Tomo and what's the other one's name?
Mio.
Mio, as I say, Mui. They destroyed that entire town.
Yeah. Just because they were fighting with each other on who was a better asset.
Yeah, who's stronger? You see me destroy this? Well, watch, I'm going to destroy this. They made light work of that gang they were kind of like the cronies or the mafia of the heroes within that village of the guild, and they're just made light work of them. Yeah, and it was great.
That's what I have. I have Mills Ace ain't nothing. Nothing. I was like, you getting smacked, boy. You look like fucking a shitty ass version of Robin Hood. Robin Hood? I don't know.
Yeah. He had that like barrier thing that was his bread and butter. He had this barrier that couldn't be broken.
That's all he had.
And Toma was like, all right, well, this time I'm going to close my fist instead of an open hand and just right through it.
And just send him flying. I thought her sword, like when she was like doing her swordsman, like slicing through those like ninja looking dudes, when she took the butt of the sword and like put it against the one, I was like half expecting the sword butt to like go through him too. And I was like, damn, that would have been like, I guess they needed one more as like someone to get like intel from, but I thought it would have been funny if she killed him too.
Yeah, but one like cool detail that happened in the show or in this episode. So we had that little girl, and the main character that was like he really wanted to help her. I don't know, he felt sorry for her or whatever. But then she drew a picture of her sister which that was the whole thing. She had to find her sister. And he recognized her as someone from the outside world.
Yes.
But it's not someone from the outside world.
It just looks like her. Yeah.
So are there like duplicates of the outside world in this world? Is that going to be a thing where it's like, it's not her, but it's her? Maybe like, I don't want to say reincarnation, but like,
well, it is an isekai, so they can be swept off from where they're currently at in the world and taken to this outside world.
right.
I think it's like a mirror almost.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a mirror of the outside.
I think that's what it is.
So there are probably more people that he knows that are within this story, within this other world, that he just hasn't met yet.
Yes, I think so. And I think the one part about an isekai is that like it's not like he might try to like recreate things in this world that he wasn't able to do in on Earth.
Yeah.
So he might make this girl his like girlfriend, right? And I could see it being really funny because Shin and Mio are not gonna like that he likes this girl.
No, not at all.
Not at all. It's gonna be really funny though, like the way that they're gonna interact with her.
Yeah, because she's not overpowered like they are.
No, she's just a normal, like looks like a peasant girl or city girl or adventurer.
Yeah, so it's going to add some more funny conflict / drama, and it's going to be great.
Because he's going to treat her probably better than he treats those other two.
He treats them like dogs.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, at the end of the episode, he tied them to a bow and flung them off Pokemon style into the sun. That
was great. Out of her own web too, her own spider silk.
Hey, can you make a web for a second? He's like, okay, I can do it. Mia was like, I can do it, sure. Yeah, I have a seeping suspicion that this is going to end up, I don't want to say like a harem, but I think it's going to end up like a harem.
They do it in a funny way, though.
They do. And it's not like overtly weird.
Yeah. See, I have this like derogatory view when you say harem because of the shows that you showed me before.
What's wrong with the shows I showed you before?
Where there's no plot, it's just anime boobs,
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just I'm not really into anime boobs. I don't know.
Well, neither am I, but the show's still good.
Is it though?
There's plot.
No, but there's no. The shows that you've showed me.
There's a lot of plot.
Are we thinking? I'm thinking the first one that it goes to is High School DxD.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot in that.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have Rias. There's a lot of plot.
See, I don't remember any of the character names because it just didn't make an impact at all.
High School DxD was like such a meme show to watch. It was more funny okay, when I say plot, I do mean anime boobs. I do. Yeah. It's like a joke. But it's such a meme though. Like especially the English dub is so funny to watch.
I agree with you. If you're watching it and you are aware of why you're watching it, then it's good. It's funny. But I was just saying, when you say that was a harem show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So when you say that, I think derogatory because that's my experience with it. Whereas this is still going to be a good show.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, we'll let this show guide you as to what a good harem could be.
Yes. I'm open for the journey.
I'm glad that you are, because at one point or another you're gonna have to become open. He'll do whatever he damn well pleases. Thank you very much.
We got some more though.
We do. We have a few more, Nick.
I want to know which one you're saving for last.
Ooh, I'm saving To Your Eternity for last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think there's two you can probably save for last.
Really?
To Your Eternity, and I think this was a really good My Hero episode.
All right, we'll save My Hero for last then.
No. Save To Your Eternity. Let's go to My Hero now, because I'm ready to talk about it.
Perfect. All right. Let me hear your initial thoughts, Nick.
Endeavor's gonna die. That's my initial thoughts.
You're sticking to this.
I'm sticking to it.
You are a hard and steadfast Endeavor is gonna die stand right now. You're like nothing can push you. You're unwaverable at this point.
It's just all the signs are pointing to it. You know?
Yes. It does feel that way, doesn't it?
It does. Like he's trying so hard to get the forgiveness of his family because he was an asshole. The asshole becomes cool. You like the asshole dies. That's the circle of anime life.
It does certainly feel like the circle of anime life, doesn't it?
You know, I'm sticking to my prediction. If it's wrong, I'll Venmo you $50. All right.
If I'm wrong, though.
You heard it here.
But if I'm wrong, though, I gotta go. You know, I don't know if he'll die. I think he's important. He's the number one.
That was, my initial thoughts of this episode.
So
the battle. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the entire episode, but I want to throw out one initial prediction I had before this episode that then kind of changed after this episode, but I'm still kind of hesitant to fully say it's not going to happen. But I have a prediction that Natsuo. See, I think Natsuo, Fairy Tail, and then Natsuo is the show. Anyway, his older brother, the one that's still alive, is going to become part of the Liberation Army.
You think?
I think he's going to turn evil because he hates his dad.
He does.
And he even got saved by his dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Emotions were very high in this episode.
It was. They were super high. And by the end of it, I'm like, dang, you still don't like your dad. Like, you're definitely evil, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, there's a part of me that thinks that, like, you're out here already a part of the meta, like, Liberation, whatever, army. But, yeah, I mean, this was a really good episode.
I think you might be right. I like your prediction.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, though.
And the other brother, Toya, he's not dead. We found that out.
Wait, he's not dead? The one that he was praying to at the shrine?
He said, I nearly killed Toya.
Oh.
He didn't kill Toya. Toya
still alive.
Is Dabi.
Toya's Dabi. Why do we keep saying this? We keep saying
gotta be.
We keep saying that Toya is Dabi.
He's gotta be. The signs again. All signs point to it.
He does, but is Dabi? Dabi's not even built like Natsuo is at all, or Shoto. Like he's really skinny.
Shoto's skinny.
I guess.
And he's got the hair, spiky hair, even though it's black.
I'm just gonna look at what Dabi looks like real quick. I really hope I don't get any spoilers. I'm not reading anything. Okay.
Look at the pre-fill on Google.
I don't know. He doesn't have like the eyes. Like his eyes are like a dark color. No, they're blue. Oh shit. That's not good. No, his eyes are blue. Uh-oh.
It's Dabi. Come on.
It's probably Dabi. Look at his quirk. He's got blue fire.
Yeah. Try to mix fire and ice, and you end up with blue fire.
Oh, I think he is. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's, there's nothing wrong with us knowing that. We don't know it. We haven't been spoiled. It's just like, this is what we do. We analyze.
Yeah, we're analyzing. He does look like him. We'll see. I'm not.
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see.
The fight was pretty awesome.
I was like kind of excited about this. Is the first time we've seen the A and B 1A 1B fights were cool, whatever. But this was like actually a cool fight.
It was, and Deku used Black Whip, actually used it, which was awesome as well.
And I was like so excited because I was like, damn, like he's finally starting to like put things together to be able to use his powers. And that means he's going to try to get the next vestige to come to him and give them his power. And he'll have 3 powers soon,
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome to see like Kachan kind of step up a little bit too and actually like he saved somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he had a chance to hurt whatever his name was, White Line or whatever.
Yeah.
And he saved Shoto's older brother instead of attacking the dude first.
Yes. Some
Which is like
growth through
character growth. Yeah. Because I could see him in the very beginning not saving somebody first.
Right. I would agree.
And he did it in this episode. So I was like, damn, that's a lot of growth. And then Shoto obviously like really brought down the fucking hammer.
Yeah.
And clapped that dude really well.
Yeah. And then just to balance out the really cool things that happens, they add humor as Bakugo, like as soon as the fight's over, all he cares about is that they beat Endeavor. They were faster than him. And it was just hilarious.
Yeah. It was like Kachan, I feel like, is growing on me so much because of the way he's been acting recently. And you're right. Like, yeah, it was like, hey, let's save the day. But then after that, it's like, I'm better than Endeavor. I'm faster. Like, I was able to make the decision. And not to mention that he said that he picked his hero name.
Mm-hmm.
And Deku was like, oh, what's your hero name? I thought it was just going to be Bakugo. And he's like, I'm never telling you.
You can drop dead.
You can drop dead. He's like, I'm telling someone. He wanted to tell someone else first, right?
Yeah. I think it's Endeavor who he wants to tell first.
Really?
It kind of like panned to him when he said that. So Deku said it, and then Todoroki's like, well, will you tell me? He's like, you can drop dead too. And then it kind of panned away.
You can drop that too. Let me get that spicy Szechuan recipe. The spicy Szechuan tofu recipe was like his favorite thing. He's like, let me get that. He wanted to know. He was down bad for the spicy tofu Szechuan spicy tofu recipe. But we also learned that Ending was boosted by that drug. And we see that drug again. I'm thinking that drug is going to be like really important for the Liberation Army because they have thousands, but I think they're going to take the drug before they fight.
Yeah, it's probably going to get mass produced by the League of Villains, who's kind of in with the Liberation Army, and that's like their pact or whatever. That's the contract that they have.
Oh, is it really?
That's my guess. I don't know.
Okay.
And yeah, again, like something this show does well is there's a major plot point, which is this drug, and it's referenced it multiple times without being like, this drug's really important. Unlike some other shows where they have no buildup, you know?
They're like, oh, what is going on here? We have no idea.
Yeah, this drug has just been it's been there, and it hasn't really been addressed, but it's about to be addressed, I believe.
Yes. And also, the My Hero Academia movie, World Heroes Mission, gets released in 3 days.
Really? It's not canon, right?
August 6th? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, though, because if it gets released this week, then I feel like this episode would be like where they would break off and do the movie. I don't know, right?
Probably. And just judging from like the preview, I don't remember exactly what the preview was, but I remember thinking like, oh, we're going back out. Like it doesn't look like it's gonna be very important. But
no.
I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, manga adaptation. Volume World Heroes is a special tie-in volume that will be released alongside the premiere to audiences in Japan, just as the case was the other ones. A bonus chapter will be in Weekly Shonen to coincide with the movie. Titled Endeavor's Mission, the chapter will focus on Endeavor training his 3 trainees. Okay, interesting. So no, it's not canon, but I think it's going to happen like alongside what's happening right now.
Okay.
But I don't know when it's going to be released in America or in English. But I won't be watching it dubbed. I'll be watching it subbed.
Right. Better. Giving Damien a stink eye right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it, I promise. Not anymore.
Yeah, good episode. It was great. I think this is kind of along the lines of what we've been wanting.
Yes.
The tournament arc, we get some battle, we get some action. Story progressed a little bit. It's great.
It is good, and I'm hoping that it kind of gets the ball rolling a little bit with this show, and we kind of get more of this in the future, the next like 6-7 episodes we have left, because we really don't have much left of this season.
Yeah.
And I'm like really like hoping that there's like something that happens. Like we need some conflict. Like in the next week's episode, they better start whatever they're gonna have to put the cliffhanger on by the end, or I'm gonna be like really worried.
I got one more point, which I think kind of goes with what you're saying. Endeavor at the very end, he said he's not asking for forgiveness. He's going to atone for his sins.
Yes.
And
oh my God, here we go.
And he goes, he says, I'm going to atone. But then he never really explains how he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, is he just going to leave the family? Is that how he's going to atone? And then it pans over to Toya again, picture of him. And I'm like, is he going to atone by trying to bring back Toya?
Interesting.
Which, if Toya is Dobby, that means we're going to start to see the League of Villains if Endeavor's trying to go communicate with Dobby.
This is true.
That was it. That was my only thing.
Huh. Okay. I like that.
It'd be a good way to get into it.
It would be a really good way to get into it. Interesting. Okay, I want to keep an eye out on for that.
Okay. The best for last, right?
I think so. Maybe, potentially. Not Tokyo Revengers. We already talked about Tokyo. I'm so used to Tokyo Revengers being the best show of the week and waiting it for it being the very end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That it was kind of just a habit for me to be like, okay, so Tokyo Revengers, let's talk about it. But we already did it, you know?
I do.
To Your Eternity.
Yes.
Episode 16, The Children's Dreams. Which don't feel like dreams anymore, bro. They feel like nightmares.
How nice. I have one note on it.
Yeah.
And it's just, what the fuck is with this girl?
Yeah. So for anyone, I hope you all watch this episode, because it started off very like, okay, this is going to be the last episode of like Jananda Island. Like he's going to win this tournament and then he's going to just bounce, right? Because we already fought the Knockers, and that was kind of like the big episodic arc ending. You know, he got Gugu back, he got the Onigamu back, he got March back, whatever. No, it wasn't. That was not the ending of the arc, and this was not the wrap-up episode. This more or less was the, oh shit, this is the beginning of the end of the arc. And yes. I say that as we finally figured out who licked his face.
I don't know. I don't remember her name, but I remember who she is.
What a weird character.
Why is she all scarred up? So, spoiler.
Yeah.
It's the lady that killed March.
Yeah.
The one who initially, came to the village with the old lady and took March to offer her up to the Onigamu. She is the one who killed Tonara? Pepperoni. How do I forget? She's the one who killed her.
Hayase?
Yeah.
And she's just a government official of Yanome.
But now she's like crazy.
She's insane. I think what happened with her was during this entire time where Fushi... So it's been years. Mm-hmm. Like, it's been like 5 or so years. Because we saw a 4-year time skip. Like, there was the time between him leaving and meeting Gugu, and then the time of meeting Gugu, and then 4-year skip, and then after, and then Jananda Island. So it's been like 5 or 6 years at this point. Mm-hmm. She's obviously done a bunch of bad things because her hair is much longer, but not to mention she has 2 giant scars that cross her eyes. So she has been in the weeds, so to speak, for years. I'm guessing she was training, she was killing people, and she was becoming desensitized to her wrongdoings for the entirety of the time.
It's kind of what it seemed like. Why, for what reason did she kill Pepperoni?
I think she was just interested, because what did she say? Death is freedom.
Yeah.
And like that's what that's what she is commanding herself to do, is to just kill people.
Yeah.
And that's what she's gonna do. And it's really weird because the narrator has said this in the past. Like, people are going to be training and working towards things, and you're just sitting around and doing nothing. And you're just being comfortable and leisurely, and you have a job to do, and you're not doing it. And it kind of goes to speak like Fushi's not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
He didn't stand a chance against her.
No, not at all. Like, of course she clapped him.
Mm.
Like, and he, like, yeah, she upset. Like, it was weird because obviously Perona died all of a sudden, right? And he got her body form and was able to use her. And she, like, called it a gift. Yeah. She's like, did you enjoy the gift that I gave you? And I don't know if she was, like, intentionally, like, trolling him to get his, like, blood boiling. But whatever she did, it worked.
It worked. And, dude, she decapitated Perona. It wasn't even, like, in a fight. It was, like, she had her chained up and whatever she wanted to do. And she's like, yeah, just went for her neck, cut her head off.
Yeah. And she feels like she didn't do enough. Like, it was too...
Psycho.
Yeah, that's like... Killing anyone is a psychopath. Doing it in that, like, oh, I didn't do enough is even worse. Yeah, somehow.
She's psycho, and she licks people's faces.
So she's like... Oh, she's crazy at this point. Yep. I don't know what's going to happen now. Like, obviously, he got the morning glory to the neck, and he's passed out. And she's now the leader of the island.
Mm-hmm.
But she convinced Tanari to put him on the island to begin with.
Yes.
Because she said, like, he's going to liberate your area or whatever.
Yeah. She's pulling the strings from the beginning.
She was. She absolutely was.
And he got clapped. The first half of the episode was all just the backstory on Tanari. So now she's going to be an important character.
That's what I wrote that down too. I said, oh, we're getting the whole backstory on her dying dad. Of course, she's going to be the character now. But, like, the issue I have with is, like, I just thought of something. He's going to get the owl.
I hope.
Because you have been saying for weeks at this point. We're at episode 16, so we've watched this for 16 weeks at this point. That's kind of crazy, actually, if you really think about it. That's 4, 8, 12. Yeah. Oh, my God, 4 months. Okay, anyway. Wow, 4 months. You've been saying for weeks, months at this point, we can honestly say, that he needs a flying form.
Yes.
So the owl, it's been around. It's special to her. I'm telling you, he's going to get the owl form.
I think you're right. It even has a name. So.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. He definitely getting that owl, bro.
Good.
Oh, God.
About time. It's so useful.
It's so useful. He needs
especially
the owl.
An owl. Like, an owl's eyesight, they can see for fucking miles, right?
And in the dark.
Yeah.
They can see. Owl's got good senses, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I hope he gets it.
Oh, yeah. She's crazy. Jananda. Oh. Never mind.
The preview, you see her licking his face again.
Yeah, nah. Okay, do you watch so, I don't typically watch intros of shows because I feel like they're spoilers and things I don't really want to see. But we've gotten so far in this arc that I was like, okay, I want to watch the intro. Do you notice that you see the older versions of characters that have been deceased in the intro?
I haven't watched the intro either.
Watch the intro.
Okay.
You see Gugu and Rianne, and Gugu doesn't have his mask on, and he has his normal face.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch the intro. We'll talk about it next week.
You see older March. Yeah, it's actually really sad. You should watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm the same. I don't like to watch the intro because sometimes it's kind of spoilery.
Yeah. I listen to the music. I just don't watch the intro. I just look at my phone.
Yeah.
Can't have those spoilers, bro. Even though I spoil shit for myself literally all the time. Like, I think I had 2 spoilers today. I gotta stop looking stuff up.
Big spoilers today, too. I'm not gonna say what it is.
Wait, you spoiled yourself today?
Yep.
What show? What show was it?
I don't want to say. It's not a show we're watching right now.
Right now.
We've watched it though.
Oh shoot! No, not Attack on Titan, Nick. Nick. Attack on Titan.
There was a thing. So
No.
you know how on Reddit, like the picture's always grayed out, and it'll tell you if you click on the post about it's a manga or anime spoiler. Well, the caption was like said something about just getting done with season 3. So I was like, okay, this is about season 3, and then I clicked it, and it wasn't about season 3.
Oh, you got finesse. No.
I got finesse, but it's okay. It's all right. Because do you know what time it is, Damien?
What time is it, Nevins?
It's time for Damien Gets Fired Up.
Damien Gets Fired Up.
Sorry,
Okay,
I just
guys.
forced you into that, but I'm excited.
No, it's okay. So this week in Damien Gets Fired Up, I only have 3 shows to talk about.
Oh my.
Mainly because one of them I watched 4 episodes of it because I came into it kind of late. So if I'm watching 4 episodes, kind of different. Next week we'll have even more new shows to talk about. This week I watched Battle Game in 5 Seconds, episodes 4 and 5. You know, I talked about Battle Game in 5 Seconds in an early episode, and I was kind of saying that, like, yeah, it's like super cool. Like the MC's really smart, and like he like has to think about like certain situations. And honestly, at this point, I've come to the realization that the MC actually isn't that very smart, and everyone out around him is kind of just dumb. So it's not like a Death Note situation where it's like Light and L kind of like going back and forth, 2 really intelligent characters. It's no one around him is really that intelligent. Maybe like the program director who's like kind of running this whole operation, maybe intelligent. I think she might be, but everyone else around him is dumb. And I even think the MC is kind of dumb because, like, in one situation, the episode that I just watched was called The Plagiarist, right? They had to do a 5-on-5 battle, right? And then he told everyone what his power was, which was I can do a hand cannon, which isn't true. It's any power that makes him believe someone else's power, right? So if he can convince them that that's his power, then that's what he turns it into. And he used the episode to be like, then he told the other 5 people that he was battling against what his power was, right? So now 9 people, well, actually 8 because one person died, now think his power is hand cannon. And it's like, bro, you're supposed to be like insanely smart. Don't you think it would have been like smarter to like come up with something else, you know?
Yeah.
And like he totally missed the fact that like it was a 5-on-5 battle, but it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna battle 5v5. It was a 1v1, kind of like a wrestling match. Okay. Like you have a team, but like if you win, it's like, you know, you get the points, you know, but you do it individually. And he like totally missed that. And it was called The Plagiarist because one of the people on the other side can copy your abilities at 1/10. The 1/10 the power. So like he was talking to the girl that could steal his power, and I'm like, dude, this girl probably knows what your real power is. She's like a real unassuming high school girl. And I'm like, okay. I think this MC is just like, he's like the edgelord, like I think I'm smart person. He's not smart. Anyway, I'm still going to watch it because I kind of want to see how it ends or how it goes, but it's dumb.
Still a cool power. That's a cool power.
Yeah, it is still cool, and I want to see how he gets out of it, and like if he can make a new power or how he boxes himself in, because I think he's doing that as we speak in the show, but I don't know, we'll see. The other show that I watched was The Great Jahi Will Not Be Defeated. It's essentially about a demon lord that kind of like gets screwed over, gets defeated by like what seems to be a hero, and she gets isekai'd or reverse isekai'd to Earth, and now has to live as a person, and she has to work like a low-wage job and has like a terrible apartment. So it's like the devil is a part-timer mixed with like Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. She's like kind of mean like Nagatoro, but she's like has to like work as an reverse isekai. I don't know. It was only the first episode. It was okay. Nothing to like write home about. But the show that I've been really, really, really liking, and there's some RE Main is one of the shows that I've really liked. That's part of Damien Gets Fired Up. The other one that I really liked is called The Aquatope on White Sand.
Okay.
It is a slice of life show that I think is going to end up becoming a Yuri, which is two girls becoming partners or girlfriends.
Mm.
But the premise of the show is so good. It's about an idol who quit being an idol, like a pop star idol, quit being a pop star, and she has to go home. But she took a last-minute flight to Okinawa to try to get away from everything. And she stumbles upon an aquarium owned by two grandparents, and their daughter works at the aquarium, and she's trying to save it because they're going to sell it at the end of the summer. And she gets a job at the aquarium helping this girl, and they're becoming friends, and they're trying to save the aquarium. And I don't know, 4 episodes in, I think it's really good. It's really heartwarming. They're trying to save the aquarium.
Oh, that sounds nice, David. Sounds nice.
I think it's good. It's really sweet. Like, they're trying to help each other out, and they're like the one girl like lost her mom, and she like lost her mom, I think, giving birth, and because she found like a birth certificate with her birth certificate on it, but then like she found a blank one, and like you get the certificate when you go to the clinic, but you get to write out the information when the baby's born. So you like have a certificate with you for a few months, and like she found it in a drawer with hers and then a blank one. So she's like piecing together that her mom was died in childbirth.
Yeah.
Really sad, but
Yeah.
It's just a slice of life. It's very good. I'm enjoying it.
What give me like one thing of why you're like that? This is great.
I think
is it the characters?
The characters.
Yeah.
I think the characters are very, I want to say real.
Okay.
I want to say they have, it's not all, it's in a lot of shows that we watch, I think that everyone has an identity, like a singular identity, right? And they all act a certain way, and that's kind of the way that they act. In this show, I feel like people are both. They're human. They have good and bad like emotions that they kind of experience and they're processing through, and there's their own like trauma that they're working out, and then the way they act with certain people and how they're acting, and like things that from their past kind of like bubble up and they have to deal with in that moment. And I just think it's a really like human experience with this show.
Sounds nice. There's not just walking character tropes. Like
no, not at all.
That's a big thing where it's like this person is the hard worker, so everything right. Okay.
Yeah, like even Into Your Eternity, like maybe that's the last show we walked about. Like Rianne has a certain character trope. March had a character trope. Gugu had a character trope. In this show, I feel like there's like more sense of like humanity to them, and maybe that's just the slice of life genre. But I really do think that this show is portraying it really well.
It sounds nice.
That's what I'm watching for Damon Gets Fired Up this week.
There you have it, folks.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about. Do you?
Me neither. No, I don't. I think there's one movie that I want to watch on Netflix. It's called Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. It's also about an idol who has buck teeth, and then about a kid who just wants to like detach from reality, so he wears headphones a lot. I don't know. If I watch it, I'll let you know. How about that?
Let us know, Dingus.
All right. So thanks again for attending our 36th club meeting to discuss all things anime related. This is your after school podcast with two wannabe weaves detailing the season's newest shows and analysis of some old favorites. You can find us at akiculture.club or at akicultureclub on social media. That's it.
That's it. There's only one way to end these.
Peace out.
See ya.